topic of our conversation today is the psychosomatic component of diseases. We're going to talk about very interesting approach in the German new medicine. And of course, after we talk about emotions and how they cause disease, we will talk about the applications of our Biomedis devices like Trinity, BioSky, and Breathe. We're going to talk about what is psychosomatic disease, German medicine, 5 biological laws. It's a new model for understanding health and healing. Development of psycho-emotional disease, causes of psychosomatic diseases. We're going to talk about emotions versus organs, how they affect organs, will, emotions, body locations, emotions versus diseases, how to read emotions on Breathe device, how to correct emotions with Biomedis Trinity device with the technology of bioresonance and transcranial magnetic stimulations. We're going to talk about complexes and algorithms on Trinity. Then BioSky photonic crystal applications to correct the emotions. And I also going to talk about a little other tips and methods to work with your negative emotions and thoughts. Also, I will represent you a little bit of the neurographics and neurobionic course coming up very soon, and maybe you will be interested in that. I will talk about it later. And at the end, I will give you a coupon exclusively from the Biomedis International for our members and clients, okay? And that coupon will have only limited time. So before we start, I want to say that all the information I'm going to give you today is strictly educational, and it doesn't replace any medical advices. And I also want to talk about my competences from where I'm coming from the information I'm going to give you. I do have degrees in art, science, and teachings, and mind and body transformational psychology. I do have certifications like wellness coach, and my specialty is psycho-emotional body understanding. For 20 years, I'm a licensed massage therapist, and my specialty is the visceral therapy or internal organs and understanding connection organs to the emotions straight from the hands, and also reflect zones on the body, because as you know, everything is connected. I also work with the Himalayan singing bowls as one of another vibrational therapy. Just like the bioresonance and Trinity device, it's also sound therapy. I'm also instructor of neurographics, neurobionics, aesthetician coach. It's all the methods to work with your mind through the drawing, through the movements of the body, and so on. And of course, I'm Biomedis company consultant for like 8 years already. I've been in 3 conferences with our company Biomedis in the past, and work closely with bioresonance devices, transcranial magnetic stimulations devices, and intellectual scanners. Okay, so what is a psychosomatic disease? This disease arises from the psychological reasons such as stress, negative thoughts and emotions, and internal conflicts. According to World Health Organizations, half of the diseases have this psychological reasons to them, almost 50%. In the Asian healing system, they were telling that the problems of the disease is ignorance, and ignorance of that, not understanding where disease are coming from, and kind of help neglect yourself. And in the modern time, people also don't understand the cause of disease and do harm their health by neglect. This is Dr. Reichert Hammer. He is German, and he developed this German new medicine in the last century. So he was living in Italy, in Rome, and he's a doctor oncologist. He has his own clinic. The tragic event happened to him. His 17 years old son was killed by Italian prince. And shortly right after that, Dr. Hammer developed a testicular cancer. And it was very suspicious for him because all his life, he had a healthy lifestyle, nutritionally wise, exercise wise. He was very, very healthy. And over the sudden, he got the testicular cancer. He started to think that, like, why? What is the cause of that? And because of he had a clinic in his own clinic for oncology, he started to do his own research on his clients by asking them that if they had any kind of shocking event happen to them prior to the illness. He discovered that in 100%, all those people had something happen to them, like a really big stress. He tested thousands of patients. He asked them about the event, and he also did the tomography of the brain. And the brain was showing on the tomography that it was shock reflected in the brain. And that shock in the brain also would be connected to the organ. Dr. Hammer said, many of us will at one time or another experience a conflict and get cancer, but that is normal part of life and not such a bad things at all. Once one understands the principles of the 5 biological laws, people will understand how it all goes. And even if some people are concerned about German new medicine not embracing conventional medical beliefs, they will soon be convinced by the force of the logic, the beauty, and the general common sense approach of the German new medicine therapy. And also he said that disease is not an enemy, but a tool for resolving accumulated conflicts and stress in the body. So he has these 5 biological laws, and those laws were all tested on his clients, and every time with every person, those laws were working. So we cannot say that even that it's a theory, it's a theory if it's something, can go off the rule. That's why we call them law. It's kind of like universal law or law of the body or law of the nature, how it all goes. The first biological law, first criterion, every disease, and he didn't like to call it disease, and he called it significant biological special program, which in German an abbreviation reads like SBS. They all originated from Dirk-Hammer syndrome, or in German it's DHS. And Dirk-Hammer syndrome is he called it in honor of his son. His son name was Dirk, who was killed. So every significant biological special program originates from Dirk-Hammer syndrome or a shock, right? Which is unexpected, highly acute, isolating conflict shock that occurs simultaneously in the psyche, the brain, and the corresponding organ. Second criterion, the content of the conflict determines which organ will be affected and from which area of the brain the significant biological special program will be controlled. And the third criterion, that every significant biological special program, or how we call it disease, they run synchronically in the level of the psyche, brain, and the organ. And that's how it looks like in the picture, the connections between psyche, brain, and organ. So on the left side, you see person is very shocked. And the reason of it could be somebody offended him, or he lost the territory, territorial loss, loss of income. It could be death. It could be death-frightened situation, like he found out maybe he had a cancer, or could be some abuse or sexual abuse, something really shocking. In that minute, when it happened, when it's the brain start to have already a reaction, and in a topography scan, you can see it as sharp circles, the semicircles, location anywhere in the brain. Okay, and it all depends of the content of the shocking situation. And then short time after that, that area of the brain which correlated to that organ send the signal to that organ, and the organ start to have either tissue growth or tissue loss. But for the body, the tissue growth or tissue loss is a biological necessary thing to do as a protection for the body, as a healing. In the brain scan, I forgot to mention that location called a homofocus. Okay. Next, let's see some examples how it all works and the psyche and brain and organ connections through some examples. For example, mother has some kind of nest worry conflict. For example, it's something connected to her little child. Maybe her child got very, very sick, or maybe like in a danger or something else. She got this conflict, right? And she has the focus on the brain in the cerebral mesoderm. That's the area will be affected if this is emotion happens. And then when the child is okay and the conflict pass, sooner or later she may develop glandular breast cancer. If a mother has some kind of separation conflict, or mother or father, or any separation conflict, which you have like a deep emotion that was really hurtful for you, it will affect the sensory cortex, and it will be another kind of brain, intraductal. Okay, if there is like a death fright conflict in the person's life, let's say somebody just give you a not good diagnosis, brainstem would have that homofocus, and it can happen the lung cancer. Self-devaluation conflict, cerebrum, bone cancer, male sexual conflict, brainstem, prostate cancer, female sexual conflict, cerebrum, cervical cancer. All of those conflicts goes to different parts of the brain, and the signal sends to different parts of the body. Every individual have own subjective perceptions to this shocking situation. We're all different. We all come from different cultures, traditions, with different values, life experiences, vulnerability. Similar life events like divorce, death, financial problem, etc. We can react differently, subjectively. Okay, and the difference could be different and greatly different. For example, for some people, divorce can be experienced like a separation. For somebody like abandon, for somebody he will be very angry, and depends of the emotions person has. It may affect in separation breast. If it's abandoned, then it would be kidney, and if it's anger, it will affect coronary artery and also liver. Okay, so all depends of how every one of us individuals see the world and how we respond to stress. Okay, and choose to respond to stress rather than reflexively, like respondively. Be responsive with your stress, knowing that the more negative emotions will affect you, the bigger location in the brain it will be, and the organ will have to do, lighter kind of special program of like a kind of heavy protection of your body. The second biological law or the law of two phases. It has two phases. So when we have that shock and stress or conflict active phase, when this happens, the normal day-night rhythm is instantly interrupted and a prolonged state of stress begins. Nerves restlessness, insomnia, fast heartbeat, elevated blood pressure, slow digestion, frequent urination, bad appetite. Vessels start to constrict and body start to become cold by cold hands and feet. And that's why they call this phase of conflict, active conflict, is a cold phase, shivering from emotions from all the bodies in the stress. Okay, the brain, if you may have some kind of headache, associated brain area where the stress is affecting it. In your psyche, you will be in very compulsive thinking mode. You can't sleep. You have to resolve the conflict, the stress. And the organ, they start to cooperate and improve the function so they can overcome the conflict. And some of the organs will grow tissue to protect it, and some of the tissue will be like losing tissue, right? Like osteoporosis or ulcerations. So when the conflict will be resolved, and the conflict can be resolved, person can just forgive another person or look at the situation differently from the big picture, or maybe his priorities shifted, or maybe he understood it somehow. So the conflict passed. And then when it start to have the healing phase come, conflict phase, conflict resolve, go into healing phase. With the resolutions of the conflict, the autoimmune nervous system switches and a prolonged state of rest with fatigue but good appetite begins. And the desire to eat provide the organism with the necessary energy for healing. Company symptoms like a slow pulse, low blood pressure, sleepiness, the blood vessels start to expand, body start to get warm, hands get warm, feet gets warm. They call it a warm phase. The psyche in the state is a state of relief. You're like, oh, the brain, you may feel like kind of edema or water cold, dizziness, could be a dull headaches because that also goes in the phase of recovery. And the organs which was affected, so if it was a tumor, it started to degenerate. It was ulceration, its construction sign and return to normal size happens. Somewhere during the healing phase, it will be a healing crisis, is like a pinnacle of the whole healing phase, like the most acute symptoms, and they could be very different symptoms, starting like with a acute headache, throwing up, fever, could be suddenly allergy like dermatitis all over. For some people it could be even stroke or heart attack. It's all kind of a healing crisis biological program. So the body does it to, after that the regeneration start happens, so everything kind of like goes back to normal. Okay, the third biological law. Dr. Haber's medical research is firmly anchored in the science of embryology. Understanding where the certain cells come from help you to understand what type of biological special program the body will perform. The reactions in the certain part of the brain and specific organ is not random, but makes sense in a biological system. This system goes through embryonic development, and after the first 17 days, the human embryo forms 3 layers: endoderm, exoderm, and mesoderm, which further develop tissues and organs in the body, and which all develop from one endocrine layer or another, and they all controlled by one part of the brain if it's from the same layer. So organs that derive from the endoderms such as lungs, uterus, prostate, organs of alimentary canal, which is meaning from the mouth to the anus. They all correlate to the oldest biological structure like a brain stem in our brain, and the conflict will be related to some kind of breathing, food conflict, morsel conflict, or reproduction conflict. Okay, organs that derive from the old mesoderm, it will be skins, pleura, peritoneum, pericardium. They cover in the vital organs, and they primarily responsible for the protection or attack conflicts. They controlled by the cerebellum in the brain. Organ that derive from the new mesoderm gives stability and mobility to the body. It's like muscles, bones, tendons, ligaments, connective tissue, and also lymph systems in blood vessels in there. And they react to the conflict of self-devaluation and controlled by cerebral medulla. Organs that derive from the ectodermal tissue covers with endodermal submucosa of most organs and lines the ducts within the organs like bile ducts, pancreatic ducts, milk ducts, also cervix, uteri, bronchus, heart vessel. They correlate to more advanced conflict, like social contact conflict, like separation, sexual conflict, territorial conflict. They control from the cerebral cortex. The fourth biological law: diseases are not contagious. Microbes, bacteria, fungi are all very important for our survival, and they are necessary for the restorative phase of the conflict. They are called seasonal workers for cleansing organs. If antibiotics or chemotherapy will be used, the problem remains in the phase and go to the further growth. According to the fourth biological laws, microbes are not the cause of infection disease, but favorable steering wheels in the healing phase. The fifth biological law: disease is not an error. Your body is not making a mistake. Every disease is a part of the significant special biological program that helps the body to resolve a biological conflict. And you can trust your body. German new medicine works for both, for human, for animals, for everything alive. Psychosomatic diseases have effect of the stress and distresses and all life conflicts like grief, family problems, roles reversals, economic, domestic difficulties. But the roots of the problems goes to genetics, pregnancy time, and the first year of the baby life. So in the genetic materials, mother and father gonna give us some DNA, right? But when mother is pregnant for 9 months, they did the research and they see that if mother is having some kind of negative emotions and thought, the baby can have a stress. For example, if mother doesn't want to put weight, she's scared to get fat, the baby may stress and it will affect his stomach and esophagus. When the baby is born, it's very much important that the mother stay close to him and connected as much as possible. Like postnatal depressions, mother goes to work, gets sick, it all affected the babies. And that material, though trauma may go through us through whole life, and when the conflict resolved, maybe when it will be all in subconscious level forgiven, then as the special biological program comes. The most destructive emotion is the fears, anxiety, resentment, anger, hatred, guilt, and envy. From them, you can get sick mentally and physically. During those emotions, Adrenal glands release hormones like cortisols, which reduce immune system, increase fatigue, drowsiness, cravings for bad food, deteriorations, memory, depression. And it's each emotion live in different parts of the body. Look at envy, it's stuck like in the head. Fears in the throat, afraid to say something. Resentment in chest, like heavy feeling. Fear also could be in the solar plexus. Anger affect the liver, gallbladder. Greed affect stomach, spleen, and pancreas. Fear affect kidneys, urinary bladder. Envy can also affect genitals, head and genitals, and some kind of indecision, don't know what to do, affect the legs. And emotions cause all kinds of diseases. And I put here a big chart for you. Headaches may cause by self-criticism, feeling and inferiority. Runny nose could be coming with some kind of saturations with emotions, events, resentments, feeling of insignificance, need more help, no more attention. Throat, it's a crisis of creativity. Stomach, self-criticism, fears, excessive care, uncertainty, liver diseases, anger, self-deceptions. These can get pain from lack of love, self-criticisms, feelings of resentment, indigestions, fear of upcoming events. Varicose vein, inability to relax, inability to move with changes in the surrounding world. Eyes, fear of looking into the future. Dental indecisions. Heart, some emotional problems, lack of joy and love. Back pain, lack of emotional support, guilt, chronic lack of money. Kidney disease, inability to forgive. Anger, disappointment, annoyance, failure. And oncology is a tendency to reapproach oneself for actions, to fall into despair, to experience a feeling of inner emptiness and loneliness, or not self-love. Like muscles is also affected by the stress, and the muscle get tense, right? And very common areas of massage therapists, I can tell you, is the neck and shoulders. It's a trapezium muscles. It's like very common in people. So body kind of stress out, it wants to shrink, be less visible, noticeable. It's automatic reactions for body for kind of a danger. After stress, person just simply forget to straighten his back and relax muscles, and it can develop a back posture like kyphosis, lordosis, scoliosis, chronic pain, etc. Okay. He also can get muscle tensions like this if he doesn't want to do something. It's like all of that, and you see all different postures. It's things like financial problem, let's say, can also affect it to like your low back. When the muscles are tied up all the time, it will bring the vertebrae together, and it start the herniated disc because the muscle contractions. And then time is of tighten more and more and more, and then the doctors would recommend you to do surgery, and the surgery may help in the beginning, but in some scientific journal they say that what really helped the body after surgery is anesthesia, because anesthesia is finally could relax that muscles completely, which person couldn't relax before. And when, in the beginning, because of those muscles finally relax, the person have a relief. But in time, if the person has a stress again, it all goes back. A few causes of psychosomatic diseases, and cause number one is a chronic stress and emotional tension. It's number one in the modern world. If you reconsider the life, especially like in the modern city, right? With the toxic environment, chronic lack of time, money, constant chaos, and foreign information overload. These and many other stress factors have become our constant companions, where person experience physical, psychological exhaustion, and the body system and organs wear out. And everybody of us have a different threshold of stress, but all stress goes through three different phases. First, when the stress comes in an alarm phase, kind of like anxiety or something active, and then in time, if stress come in, a person start to cope with this, do some things, right? And he's coming in adaptation phase. So he's kind of balancing it. But if the stress is still coming, no matter what you're going to do, there will be exhaustion phase when they just like really break down. It is important to avoid the exhaustion phase and use different kinds of technique to counteract it. Okay, what are emotions from stress? What's stress? Chronic stress is when you feel tension, concern, excitement, anxiety, agitation, feeling danger, confusion, anxiety, fear, panic, terror, irritation, annoyance, indignation, anger, resentment, rage, confusion. This is all stress and stressful for the body. And stress can be feeling in the body like headache, backache, chest pain, heart problem, arrhythmia, blood pressure, low immunity, digestive problems, sleep problem. It's all coming from stress. The anxiety, the feelings the person would feel: anxiety, agitation, restlessness, irritability, depression, anger, irritability, sadness, insecurity, inability to focus, emotional burnout, forgetfulness. And what behavior a stressful person will have? The overreacting and everything. And eating, anger, outburst. Some people can find relaxation in alcohol and other substances abuse, smoking, social withdrawal, cheerfulness, conflicts. Diseases come from the stress. There are a big variety. Any kind of allergies is a stress related. Respiratory problems like asthma, bronchitis, reduced immunity, endocrine system disorders, cardiovascular disease, hypertension, digestive system disorders, hemorrhoids, problem with joints, spine, like osteochondrosis, arthritis, lumbago, disease of the nerve system, diabetes type 2, skin diseases, neurodermatitis, prostatitis, eczema, vascular dystonia, and bad habits like drinking, smoking, and overeating. Cause number 2, long-term experience of short negative emotions. So in other words, you have an emotions and you cannot let it go, like anger, fear, resentment, disappointment. They say it's okay to feel the emotion. We feel, we are human. It's okay to like feel anger, but then you need to let it go. After like 7 or 9 minutes, I forgot, it started already doing not a good effect. So it's okay to have it, but then release. The principle of the influence of negative emotions on health is the same as with stress. Any emotions is a constant event when the blood pressure is redistributed, blood flow is replaced, muscle tones change, breathing pattern change, and all other parameters change. And the only difference from stress is that not all emotions lead to the body state of mobilization. Diseases from resentment, examples, resentment of unfair criticism can cause arthritis, resentment towards parents, the obesity, carrying a grudge, kidney stones, deep, long-standing unspoken grudge, cancer, hidden resentment towards a sexual partner, in women like thrush infection. Diseases from self-rejection, rejections of femininity, let's say, painful periods, lack of self-love, acne, impulse, self-denial, self-hatred, bulimia, rejections of one's personality, alcoholism, unwillingness to see one's in a true light, astigmatism. Diseases from fear of self-expression and speaking out, they all stuck in the throat. Fear of parents in kids can cause enuresis. Fear of being parents can cause infertility. Fear of losing control, Parkinson's disease. Horror, indigestion. The third cause of the psychosomatic diseases are unreacted emotions, something that we would hold on and don't even show, nobody knows. Many practicing psychologists and psychotherapists claim that suppressed negative emotion goes inside and harm the health. Negative emotions are harmful to health by suppressing them for a long time. It is not less harmful than just having the negative emotion. Examples: thirst of revenge, for revenge, angry unspoken thoughts for revenge. A person can have a bad breath. Tension due to the thirst for revenge, musculofacial syndrome. Acute thirst for revenge, abscess. Desire for cruel revenge, kidney failure. Accumulating anger, plan for revenge, tuberculosis. If person will suppress anger for years, it may result in hepatitis, increased tension to contain anger, Bell's palsy, anger from hopelessness, pancreatitis, restrained anger, boils, deeply hidden anger, hypertension. Cause number 4, motivation or conditional benefits, subconsciously, not consciously. The disease may have some kind of benefits. Some people use illness as a way to solve psychological problems. For example, child can get sick if there is some if he needs a lot more love, or just not go to school, or call the parents relationship together. Or adult can get sick if he would have more like attention, like they call it conditional benefit of the disease. Practicing psychologists know well that if a person begins to solve his or her psychological problem with the help of the disease, then the disease is practically not treated with any traditional medical methods. Even as a visceral therapy specialist, I can tell you that we are massaging organs in a certain way, because it all goes like in a specific circle. The first tension in the body will be duodenum sphincter and affect your gallbladder and liver, some kind of stress. And it caused by emotions like anger. Then persons lose all his calm. When the person loses calm, it starts to affect his stomach, pancreas, and spleen, and then fear arises. Fear will affect kidneys and urinary bladder. And then when it starts to bother him, person loses the joy. When you lose the joy, it causes problem in your heart and small intestine. And this brings person to sadness and sorrow. And the sadness and sorrow will affect the lungs and large intestine, and this will create an anger again, and then the whole circle continues. The people who have our breathe device already, you scan the body, you can see those emotions we just mentioned, and the breathe scan. This is the depressions you're going to see on the scan. A person have a low aura, it's constricted from everywhere. The person is kind of depressed and go down inside of his own feelings. Resentment. In resentment, you will see the red dots on the side, right and left. This is like when the person a little depressed, but when the person is depressed, these dots become stronger, and the energy field come closer to the body and will create like a figure 8. Sometimes you see this figure 8, and that tells that the person has like a long lasting resentment. This is how look the low self-esteem. Look under the legs is like no grounds to stand up for yourself. Negative thinking, swearing, and fear. You will see this like above the head, figure W. They could be more sharp or like less like here, but that's a sign of the negative thinking. This is the victim complex, is person like always complain about life and stuff. You see also like very spiky energy, and especially under his legs, the lost of the aura. Fear of punishment, low self-esteem. Look also like in the blue, all the circles around blue, and also aura is shrinked. Aggression towards the opposite sex, you will see those red dots are under the legs, but it also can represent the legs disease or sexual organ diseases. If it's consistent, then maybe you need to talk to person towards this emotion. This aura looks of the people who want to do a lot of things, want to start something, but inability to finish what they started. You see that the aura is all red outside. They're so very active, but no energy. And I also want to talk about this energy defeat situation when is usually like third, sixth, and seventh chakras are completely closed, and in some cases also fourth chakra closed. That is when the person energy field is so close, and that's how it looks in the aura, that anything you do, even bioresonance or anything, nothing seems to help to the person. In this case, it's advisable to work some kind of energy healing like shaman, or energy practice like Reiki, healing touch, anything to open those chakras first before we do some kind of healing. You can also do prayers, meditations. This has also bioresonance therapy in there. You can also help with that therapy to the person when you see this situation. Okay, and our popular device Trinity will use widely in the psycho-emotional corrections, and it is a highly recommended to do it the emotion corrections when you heal in any kind of diseases, especially chronic diseases, which has emotions behind it. Biomedis Trinity has programs to improve your psychological, psychosomatic state, relieve anxiety, tensions, depression, exhaustion, mental neurosis, chronic sadness, fears, sleep disorders, phobias, calming. The first program when we recommend for you to use when you just get your devices anti-stress program, and it's for the reason. This is the #1 program to use to even start to heal any chronic condition. So that will be a bioresonance in mode 1 and 2, and then we also have 59 complexes for transcranial magnetic stimulation. They are in mode 4, and they are vibrations for the brain. When you buy devices from biomedicinternational.com, like from me or from Marina personally, you're going to have 254 complexes. That's what complexes we have to treat your emotions. Anti-stress is #1 complex, I already said. If you look down, you can see that there has like an aura restoration, depressions, insomnia. We see all of those frequency implemented in that complex. We have complex 19 antidepressants. Look of all of those kind of different depressions in there caused by toxicology, unclear etiology, stress-related depressions. All this emotional content are very good in this complex. Another one we have nervous system restoration complex 130. Just see it also a lot of like nerve restoration, mental depression, all kinds of anxiety, modeling mood, fear control, phobias in that complex. 137 panic attack. That so often now people have the panic attack. Know that 137 complex may help you. It's full of the all emotional content programs in there. And also we have 150 psychological program, right? And also all kinds of anxiety, relaxation, recovery of the aura, memory centered, energy flow, irritated. All of those descriptions, you have it when you buy device from us. We send you automatically should receive from us email with all of those descriptions of the programs. And if you didn't receive it for some reason, just let us know. Okay, the fourth operating mode in the Biomedis Trinity is meant to be for the brain corrections. And as we know, the brain has different frequency, depends of what we are doing. When we are in a thinking mode, doing something, we're in awake mode, we're going to have the beta state, and we have complexes in Biomedis Trinity in beta. Like for focus, for memory, for concentration. We alpha wave, relaxation, a meditative kind of wave. People who is under stress, in depression, don't have alpha wave stress. So we do have a lot of complexes, and alpha have quite a few of them. Theta is very good for healing. There is even modality theta healing when the person is between like awakening and falling asleep state. It's very good for your creativity, dreams. It's like a very deep meditation and using your consciousness. So we do have complexes for like support your creativity, awareness. They have those theta waves. Delta is when a deep sleeping, people who in the stress they cannot fall asleep, they can use this delta wave complexes in Trinity in mode 4. Gamma is they say it's for the geniuses, when the person is just like in the constant ideas mode. So what complexes, like I'm not going to show you all of them, but look, alpha rhythm complexes in mode 4, number 188, 189, 190, 191. Okay, they all helping you to relax. We have alpha for comfort, for peace, for physical strength. Also, altered state of consciousness as your connections to the universe is very good frequencies of theta in there, helps self-recovery, self-healing. We have complex of an anxiety reductions, like I think 10 minutes complex, and it does help. We have a good feedback for this program. There is a better rhythm for the brain when you want to be active. There is also a children program. Look, and children program has indication childhood fears, lymphatic diathesis, which all from emotional, like recurrent sinusitis, bronchitis, tonsillitis, neurals like syndrome, like bedwetting, tics, learning difficulties, memorization, memory loss, ADD, increased fatigue, reduced work capacity, allergies of all kinds, children who have speech disorders, adolescents or difficult children, aggressive children, children who in isolation, violation, behavior reaction. That is a very good complex to help your child with emotions and also to develop better. It has all kind of good frequency for development. Brain frequency balancing descriptions help to maintain the balance between concentration and relaxation. And it reduces the pressure from all stressful situations. Okay, it allows you to think positive and at the same time being relaxed, not overexcited. So when using this program, it is recommended when you do this scanning process, think of what you overexcited about, like let's say upcoming exam or some kind of negotiation or some kind of bad memories that overexcite you. So when you scan it, think of it before you start, like in a scanner process for 8 seconds. And then you focus on specific problems, right? And then the device help you to balance it. Deep relaxation is amazing complex for anxiety reduction, nervousness, stressful situations like anyway in relationship, psychological conflict with, parents, teachers, tearfulness, emotional irritability, all kinds of negative emotions. I like to put this complex when I do massages to people. It helps them to really deeply relax. That complex works amazing with massage. We will have 3 complex for depression programs. Some of them you need to close your eyes. Some of them you need to do the therapy with the open eyes. Read the descriptions before you do the depression complexes, because I put the depression program 2, which very common use. It's like a depression, anxiety, nervousness, phobia, fear, conflict, stressful situation. There is also depression program, like for example, depression in a teenager would be different and all from like hormonal things. You need to see what kind of depressions, read descriptions, negative thoughts erasing. I use this complex a lot when there is something going on in your life. You focus device on your brain and you think about that negative thoughts. You think in that pattern. Maybe you're thinking about something you've noticed constantly, like a broken record. I don't have money. I don't have money. I don't have money. For example, you put scan your brain, and when you do this complex, you bring that thought, so the Trinity helps you to balance that. And as you know, as you see the different perspective with your mind, your physics and everything around will start to change. Okay, another complex is here, as you see, overcoming fears, self-esteem development, occasional regulation is when there's some kind of disturbances, anxiety, irritability state. Short break is good to recover in between, like exams preparation or something. So it helps you to also reduce fatigue, increase your working efficiency, improve your conscious concentration. Sleeping program for sleeping, and we also have 2 sleep programs there. So you need to see in descriptions which one will describe you. Stress program, we have few of stress programs as well. They also are very different. Like this one is more like stress, which will affect your organs, like I said, right? It's like anger, relationships and stuff. Okay, there is also one complex I want to talk a little extra about, because that complex is amazing. It's called endorphins, hormones of happiness. And that complex is produced in endorphins. Endorphins are the natural painkiller. And here in the endorphins complex, you have a different frequency from the solfeggio frequency, and they all in that endorphins, hormones of happiness for mode 4 for your brain. And just look what those frequency can give you. 174, emotional relief, feeling security and love. 285, help with unite with the earth, restore damaged cells and tissues. 396, transform feelings of guilt, fear, stress, bitterness, sadness, and into joy. 417, dissolves traumatic experiences, old emotional patterns, bad habits. 528, creates real miracles, leads to DNA healing. It's a frequency of love and sun. 639, heals and balance any relationships, increase tolerance, understanding, and love. 741, awakens intuition, expands consciousness, gives the power of self-expression, cleanses cells of toxins, electromagnetic radiations. 582, transforms fears, worries, overthinking to spirituality. 963, it connects with the flow of light, divine consciousness, enlightenment, increase intuitions. We also have not device, but the biophotonic crystals. Each of the colors would balance a certain organs or certain emotion. Blue biosky will support your kidney and urinary bladder, which will balance emotion of fear. Green, it's balancing gallbladder and liver to release the anger emotion. Purple, it's a crystal for the heart and small intestine, will help you if you lost feeling of joy. The red crystal is most popular because triple warmer and pericardium affect all the meridians in the Chinese medical system. And it is recommended to use specifically for the negative emotions like tearfulness, emotional outbursts, irritability, moodiness, aggression. It also helps with the focus and memory. The yellow one is for stomach, spleen, and pancreas, helps with worries. And the lung and large intestine, white crystal helps with sadness, grief, depressions, and sorrow. I have this chart, gives you a good key to which card at what time you need to use to support effectively each of the organ. Like, for example, the white card, lung and large intestine, it's good to use it in between time 3 and 7 a.m. Yellow card from 7 to 11 a.m. Okay, purple from 11 to 3, blue from 3 to 7 p.m., red one from 7 to 11 p.m., and the green is from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. So each card is more effective, more proficient in this certain of time, because in this certain of time, that organ is more active. You need to see specific video I have for the Biosky photonic crystal, which has all kinds of protocols, including basic company protocols, and ending with my own protocols that I use with my healing practice. Okay, so what else you can do if you don't have our devices or they're not handy, and this has happened, or you forgot suddenly that you have devices because you're in a panic mode or shock mode. So do not panic. Remember that the disease is a reaction. Panic and fear will block the healing. So we need to downgrade the reaction. The subconscious has already chosen this disease as a solution to the situation. Calm down, rest, get enough sleep, take a walk, do some muscle stretching exercise, tune, harmonize. These actions will reduce your muscle spasm. Take some more hot water. Hot water will dilute your vessels and the body will go out of stress. So when you have stress, just drink the water constantly. Hot water will help you to release stress and all the other symptoms goes with it. In a calm state, try to remember what started that disease, why you have this pain, why have this unpleasant symptom, what happened prior to this. Because if you have a hint, and awareness is the first moment, is a hint that what can happen, what is the reason, and when you understand it, your mental perceptions are already going to react and change for you, and healing start to happen. You can resolve the conflict. You can also symbolically influence the body with positive outcome of previous situation visualizations. If you remember what happened to you, just close your eyes and then your brain visualize a different outcome of this. And your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference. It will see it as a real picture, and it will be not a stress as much to the situation like it was. You already released the stress and it's already the solution of the situation. Another thing is the positive thinking, blessings and gratefulness, daily practices. They say that helps you to switch your mind from negative to positive thinking. If you want, count your blessings or write down and everything what you're grateful for. You choose your healing tool is to have a faith in it. If you have faith that this is gonna help, this is gonna help. It's even in Bible, okay? They say that everybody is going to get by the faith, and the prayers and affirmation show love, gratitude to people, change to attitude to everything around. Of course, balance your diet and water regime is very important what you eat, because food can be a poison for you and could be medicine. Physical activity is very also important. Very good qigong and yoga for stretching and mind calming exercises. Go into the resonance with the universe. Listen to the universe. Listen to the answer inside of you. They are all there. Use the bioresonance. You already have all our devices, and of course I'm going to say massage. It is also very stress relieving, and I would say it's a must tool if you want to heal any chronic condition, especially if it's related to your muscles. So natural bioresonance is all around you. You can hug a tree, you can shake your body. Music is vibration, or even laugh therapy. They do have a study that if you laugh every single day from 5 or 15 minutes, you can heal like a lot of things. And some people even heal oncology. Person who's around negative people or sick people, they start to experience the same health problems. Why do you think it's happened? If something you with a low frequency around, and you start as a frequency correlate, talk to each other, and some the person who is low frequency comes up, but you come down. Very good posture to have is close your legs, and if it's possible, even arms. To kind of disconnect yourself from the energy when you have to be around there. And if it's a really heavy sick energy, of course you need to take shower after at home, maybe do some saging, use some salt, a bath, or stay on the ground, but take care of yourself. There is one of my favorite methods to heal emotion, mind, and this is what I do already for 3 years, is the neurographics method. And neurographics method is based on working on your subconscious mind. Neuro is for neurons, and graphics is drawing. So if you see on the left side all the nature around us, the clouds, the mountains, the rivers, everything has this bionic line, which is like a wavy line, but very unpredictable line. And all nature has like a rounded shape. There is no corner in the nature. If you look inside of our body, or we also have all those bio lines. If you look our blood vessels, lungs, bronchioles, brain, neurons, that we're using those bionic lines to create anything. The neurographics can help you with any project in your life, including healing. And in the right side, you see how the neurographics look like. In 2 weeks, Saturday, April 26th, a free masterclass. You can invite anybody to who wants, where I will be talking about how to release any negative emotion with neurographics. Okay, that method is, I think, will help you so much in any stressful situation. You can just know this algorithm I'm going to give you, and you actually, with just one algorithm, you may heal the whole, situations, and even your life and body and everything. So you will receive the notifications of this free masterclass very soon in your email. I am about to do exclusive offer for Biomedis international clients. And this offer includes a 10-session course where I'm going to talk about psychosomatics and different body system, like diseases and musculoskeletal system, gastrointestinal tract, reproductive, cardiovascular, excretory, respiratory, endocrine, nervous system, lymphatic, and skin. And then we will end that class with a neurographic workshop. We will talk about of correlated negative emotions, and also what to do. I'm going to talk also a little bit about what foods can help you to improve the situation, what practices on the body level, emotional level, soul level, exercises you can do to. So all of those sessions going to happen every other week, and then they're going to start on May 3rd. It will be 10 sessions and it will be no recording. So if you want to participate, you need to make a time for it. If you are a member, you have a primary membership, that's free for you as a bonus for Wellness Wave webinars. So we already have some members. Welcome to come. You can come on any of those weeks or all of them. If you don't have that membership, maybe you want to consider to buy the membership, because the membership has a lot of other benefits besides this exclusive offer, and I'm going to go about it also. But if you don't want to buy the membership, which is membership costs $100 for 1 year. If you don't want to buy the membership, you can buy the course for $88. If you are non-member, if you will register before the May 3rd. After May 3rd, you can just buy a separate for $22, okay, for each class. So all of you, Biomedis International client, have a free webinars from us, instructional materials for devices and complexes sent to your email automatically. And you all know that you have one free private consultation with us, with me or Marina, and 1 year warranty for your device. Okay, if you want to get a premium membership, support me and Marina in everything what we are doing for you, and $100 for a year. What you're going to get on top of it, you have a 2-year warranty device. So you have also entrance to private Facebook member group community where you can always ask us questions. Once a month, we alternate with Marina. We have a monthly membership live Q&A sessions. You add it there, you put your questions, and we record it for you, or you can attend. All of those Wellness Wave exclusive educational webinars, like what I'm offering for you today, 10 classes, which will be twice a month. You have unlimited phone and WhatsApp consultation from me and Marina. Any questions? We how to use device, or which complex to use. Unlimited personal training for device use, and you also have a library of 600 additional complexes. Why it's $1? Because it takes our time to put it in your profile, and that's we charge for our time to do it. But it's only available for the members. And also you have the access and library to all of our Biomedis webinars and Q&A session what happened before. We already have the videos there for advanced breeze class, how to read the breeze tests, like diagnostic from the developer of the breeze. I translated that master class in English. We have my class where I talk how to use Biomedis MA software, where you can create your own programs and complexes. We also give you like a book with all the frequency from the right book, and you can create your own complexes. Also how to reprogram the hardware of the device. You also have one class of neurographic there for like a wellness. It's called Wellness Neuro Tree. It's also free for the members. You draw wellness tree, where I have a talk through the algorithms of the tree, how you can support your body in healing. So consider to get our exclusive premium membership, because it gives you so much more extra for you to explore our devices, to use them more correctly, to be supported in any other way. And I will be happy also to see you and all the webinars. And if you decide not to be members, you are still welcome. Okay, and also another gift for all of you who listen in this webinar now in live or in later in recording. You have a gift promo code from April 15 to 30, 2025. Coupon 10% for all of Biomedis International clients. A webinar will be webinar 10. And coupon 20% off for all our members. And the coupon will be webinar 20. Okay. So you can get the discount for your device anytime you need it. I have recently a woman called me, I just lost the device, I really needed to have a cell. No, but that is what you're going to have a coupon for yourself. Anyway, stay healthy, try to calm yourself, balance your emotions with everything what you have, because now you know that it may cause a disease. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye. Talk to you soon.